"Are you married?" she asked. The rain pounded against the windows of the cozy coffee shop like a relentless drumbeat, mirroring the storm brewing inside Emily's heart. She had just mustered the courage to ask the handsome stranger across from her the question that had been burning on her lips all evening: "Are you married?" His eyes, deep and shadowed with unspoken pain, met hers, and for a moment, the world seemed to freeze. Then, with a voice that carried the weight of 1,000 shattered dreams, he replied, "No, but I was once, until the day I lost everything." His words hit her like a cold wave, stopping her cold, and in that instant, she knew this wasn't just a casual date, it was the beginning of a story that would change her life forever. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button if you've ever had a moment that turned your world upside down, and subscribe for more heart-wrenching tales that remind us love can heal even the deepest wounds. Now, let's dive into the full story. Emily Thompson was a woman who had always played it safe. At 32, she ran a small boutique in the bustling heart of Seattle, selling vintage dresses that whispered stories of bygone eras. Her life was a carefully curated collection of routines: morning yoga, afternoon sketches of new designs, and evenings spent with a glass of wine and her cat, Whiskers. Romance? It had been a distant memory since her last breakup 2 years ago, when her ex-fiancé decided that commitment was too constricting. She had sworn off men, focusing instead on her dreams of expanding her shop into an online empire. But fate, that mischievous trickster, had other plans. It started on a foggy Tuesday morning. Emily was behind the counter, arranging a display of silk scarves that shimmered like captured rainbows, when the door chimed open. In walked a man who seemed to carry the weight of the world on his broad shoulders. He was tall, with tousled dark hair that begged to be run through with fingers, and eyes the color of stormy seas, blue-gray and endlessly deep. His jaw was chiseled, dusted with a day's stubble that added a rugged edge to his otherwise polished appearance. He wore a simple black jacket over a fitted shirt that hinted at the muscles beneath, and jeans that hugged his legs in a way that made Emily's pulse quicken involuntarily. "Can I help you find something?" she asked, her voice steadier than her racing heart. He smiled, a small, weary curve of his lips that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Actually, yes. I'm looking for a gift for my daughter. She's turning 8 next week, and she loves anything sparkly." Emily's interest piqued. A single dad? Intriguing. She led him to a rack of children's accessories, pulling out a delicate necklace with a star-shaped pendant that twinkled under the shop lights. "This might be perfect. It's vintage-inspired, but safe for kids." He took it gently, his fingers brushing hers for a split second, a touch that sent a spark through her skin like electricity. "It's beautiful. She'll love it." "Thank you, Emily," she supplied, feeling a flush creep up her neck. "Daniel," he replied, his voice low and warm, like melted chocolate. "Daniel Harper." As he paid, their conversation flowed effortlessly, about the challenges of parenting, the joy of small surprises, and the hidden gems of Seattle. Before she knew it, she had agreed to meet him for coffee that weekend. It was impulsive, unlike her, but something in his eyes pulled her in, a vulnerability masked by strength that made her want to unravel his mysteries. The coffee date arrived sooner than expected, and as they sat in that rain-lashed cafe, sipping lattes, Emily found herself opening up in ways she hadn't in years. Daniel listened intently, his gaze never wavering, making her feel seen, truly seen. He shared snippets of his life, a successful architect by day, a devoted father by night. His daughter, Lily, was his world, he said, with a fondness that softened his features. But as the conversation deepened, Emily's curiosity got the better of her. "So, Daniel, are you married?" The question hung in the air, innocent yet loaded. His face changed in an instant. The warmth faded, replaced by a shadow that made her regret asking. He set down his cup, his hands trembling slightly. "No," he said quietly. "I was." Her name was Sarah. "We were high school sweethearts, married right after college." Lily was our miracle after years of trying. But 3 years ago, on a night much like this, stormy, unforgiving, Sarah was in a car accident. She didn't make it. Emily's breath caught in her throat. The words stopped her cold, a chill spreading through her veins. She had expected a simple no, perhaps a divorce story, but this? This was raw pain, etched into every line of his face. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, reaching across the table to touch his hand. His skin was warm, contrasting the coldness of his revelation. He didn't pull away. Instead, he squeezed her fingers gently. "It's okay. It's been hard, raising Lily alone. The nights are the worst, when the house feels too empty, and the memories flood in. But Lily keeps me going. She's my anchor." In that moment, Emily felt a connection forged between them, brittle yet unbreakable. She shared her own scars, the abandonment by her father when she was young, the string of failed relationships that left her guarded. They talked until the cafe closed, the rain easing into a gentle drizzle as they walked to their cars. Daniel hesitated at her door, his eyes searching hers. "Thank you for listening, Emily. It's been a long time since I felt understood." She smiled, her heart pounding. "Anytime, Daniel." Their meetings became a ritual. Coffee turned into dinners, walks in the park with Lily tagging along, her giggles filling the air like music. Lily was a spitfire, curly-haired, with her mother's eyes and her father's determination. She took to Emily immediately, dragging her into games of pretend where Emily was the fairy queen and Lily the brave knight. But as their bond grew, so did the challenges. Daniel's grief was a silent companion, surfacing in unexpected ways. One evening, as they cooked dinner in his cozy kitchen, pasta sauce simmering on the stove, wine glasses clinking, Emily leaned in for their first kiss. His lips were soft, tentative at first, then hungry, as if awakening from a long slumber. The kiss deepened, his hands sliding to her waist, pulling her close. She felt the heat of his body against hers, the way his muscles tensed under her touch. It was electric, passionate, a release of pent-up emotions. But he pulled back suddenly, his breath ragged. "I can't. I'm sorry. It's not you. It's just Sarah." Emily's heart ached, but she understood. "Take your time," she said, stroking his cheek. "I'm not going anywhere." The sexy tension between them simmered like a slow-burning fire. Nights when Lily was at sleepovers, they'd steal moments, cuddling on the couch, his fingers tracing patterns on her skin that sent shivers down her spine. One such night, under the dim glow of fairy lights in his living room, their restraint broke. Daniel's kisses trailed from her lips to her neck, his hands exploring the curves of her body with a reverence that made her feel worshipped. She arched into him, her own hands tugging at his shirt, revealing the taut planes of his chest. Their lovemaking was intense, a blend of tenderness and raw desire, bodies moving in sync as if they'd been waiting lifetimes for this union. He whispered her name like a prayer, his thrusts deep and rhythmic, building to a crescendo that left them both breathless, entangled in sheets damp with sweat. Yet, the morning after brought doubts. Daniel's ex-in-laws, protective of Lily, questioned Emily's place in their lives. "You're not her mother," his mother-in-law snapped during a tense family gathering. Emily felt the sting, but Daniel stood by her, his hand firm in hers. "She's more than that. She's family now." Work challenges mounted too. Emily's boutique hit a rough patch, a competitor opened nearby, siphoning customers. Daniel, with his architect's eye, helped redesign her space, turning it into a whimsical haven that drew crowds. In return, she supported him through Lily's school struggles, bullying from kids who teased her about not having a mom. Together, they navigated parent-teacher meetings, Emily stepping in with gentle wisdom that eased Lily's tears. Their relationship deepened with each hurdle. A weekend getaway to a secluded cabin in the woods became a turning point. Amidst the rustling leaves and crackling fire, they bared their souls, and bodies, completely. Daniel's touch was confident now, his lips exploring every inch of her, from the swell of her breasts to the sensitive spot behind her knees. She rode the waves of pleasure he evoked, her moans echoing in the night, their passion a testament to healing hearts. "I love you," he confessed as they lay spent, stars twinkling through the window. But love wasn't without storms. A health scare with Lily, a sudden fever that landed her in the hospital, tested them. Daniel paced the waiting room, his face ashen. Emily held him, her strength a pillar. "She's going to be okay," she assured, and she was, just a virus. In the relief that followed, Daniel proposed, down on one knee in the hospital corridor, ring in hand. "Will you marry me? Be my partner, Lily's mom?" Tears streamed down Emily's face. "Yes," she whispered, the words sealing their fate. Their wedding was intimate, under a canopy of blooming cherry trees, Lily scattering petals with glee. Life blossomed, Emily's business thrived, Daniel's designs won awards, and they welcomed a baby boy, completing their family. Years later, as they watched their children play, Emily reflected on that fateful question. It had stopped her cold, but it had also thawed her heart, leading to a love profound and passionate. And there you have it, folks, the story of how one question sparked a lifetime of love, loss, and redemption. If this tale touched your heart or made you believe in second chances, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories. Who knows? Your next favorite might be just a click away. But wait, the story doesn't end there. Let's dive deeper into their journey, because true love stories are marathons, not sprints. After the wedding, Emily and Daniel settled into a rhythm that was both comforting and exhilarating. Their home, a charming Victorian house on the outskirts of Seattle, became a sanctuary of laughter and love. Morning started with the aroma of fresh coffee and pancakes, Daniel flipping them with expert precision while Emily braided Lily's hair. The little girl, now 10, had blossomed under Emily's care, her once shy demeanor giving way to confidence. "You're the best stepmom ever," Lily would say, hugging Emily tight, and those words melted away any lingering insecurities. Yet, the sexy spark between Emily and Daniel never dimmed. Even with the demands of parenthood, they made time for each other. Stolen moments in the kitchen turned into heated embraces, his hands slipping under her shirt to caress her back, her lips finding his in a kiss that promised more. Nights were their playground. After tucking the kids in, they'd retreat to their bedroom, where passion reignited like a flame. Daniel's body, strong and familiar, moved over hers with a rhythm that spoke of deep intimacy. He'd tease her with light touches, his fingers dancing across her thighs, building anticipation until she begged for release. Their lovemaking was varied, sometimes slow and sensual, his tongue tracing paths that made her gasp, other times urgent and primal, bodies slamming together in a frenzy of need. The afterglow left them wrapped in each other's arms, whispering dreams for the future. Challenges persisted, of course. Daniel's job took him on frequent trips, leaving Emily to juggle the household. One such absence coincided with a crisis at her boutique, a flood from a burst pipe ruined inventory. Overwhelmed, she called him in tears. "I can't do this alone," she admitted. His voice, steady over the phone, calmed her. "You're not alone, love. I'll be home tomorrow." True to his word, he returned, rolling up his sleeves to help rebuild. Their teamwork strengthened their bond, turning adversity into opportunity. They expanded the boutique online, incorporating Daniel's designs for custom furniture displays that went viral. Lily's teenage years brought new trials. At 13, she rebelled, sneaking out to parties, her grief over her mother resurfacing in angry outbursts. "You're not my real mom," she screamed one night, slamming her door. Emily's heart shattered, but Daniel mediated, reminding Lily of the love that surrounded her. Therapy sessions followed, raw and emotional, where secrets spilled, Lily's fear of losing Emily too. Through it all, Emily's patience shone, and slowly, they mended. A family vacation to Hawaii sealed the healing, beach days filled with surfing lessons, where Lily and Emily bonded over wiped-out waves, laughter erasing old hurts. Their son, Ethan, added joy and chaos. At 5, he was a whirlwind of energy, with Daniel's eyes and Emily's creativity. Bedtime stories became elaborate tales, Daniel's architectural flair turning them into epic adventures. But parenthood tested their intimacy. Exhaustion led to dry spells, where touches were brief, kisses chaste. Sensing the drift, Emily planned a surprise weekend away. In a luxurious hotel suite overlooking the ocean, they rediscovered each other. Bubbles from the jacuzzi tickled their skin as they sipped champagne, his hands massaging her shoulders, tension melting away. The night unfolded in waves of pleasure, her straddling him, hips grinding in a dance of desire, his groans fueling her rhythm. They experimented, role-playing fantasies that added spice, her in lingerie that accentuated her curves, him dominant yet tender. It reignited their fire, reminding them that love required effort. As the years passed, their story inspired others. Friends sought advice, drawn to their resilient partnership. Emily started a blog, sharing snippets of their life, the emotional depths, the sexy highs, the everyday victories. It grew into a community, where readers found hope in their tale. One evening, as they sat on their porch, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of pink and gold, Daniel turned to Emily. "Remember that coffee shop? Your question stopped me in my tracks too, made me realize I was ready to live again." She leaned into him, her head on his shoulder. "And it led us here. To this beautiful life." Their journey wasn't perfect, life never is, but it was theirs, woven with threads of sorrow, joy, passion, and unyielding love. It's a reminder that sometimes, the coldest stops lead to the warmest embraces. If you're still with me, thank you for sticking through this epic tale. Like if it moved you, subscribe for more, and comment below, what's your stop you cold moment? Let's keep the conversation going. To expand even further, let's explore the backstories that shaped them. Emily's childhood was marked by absence. Her father left when she was 6, chasing dreams in California, leaving her mother to scrape by as a waitress. Emily learned early to rely on herself, channeling her pain into art. She sketched dresses that made her feel powerful, fabrics that hugged like the embraces she craved. High school brought first loves, fleeting, hurtful, but college was her escape, where she studied fashion design. Her boutique was her baby, born from savings and sheer will. Daniel's path was different. Growing up in a stable home, he excelled in school, his mind a blueprint for structures. Sarah was his first and only love until then, cheerful, artistic, the perfect complement. Their marriage was idyllic at first, travels to Europe, building a home. Lily's birth completed the picture. But the accident, a drunk driver on a rainy night, shattered it. Daniel spiraled into depression, work his only solace, Lily his lifeline. Dating felt like betrayal until Emily. Their first intimate encounter deserved more detail. It happened after a romantic dinner at home. Candles flickered, soft music played. Daniel's eyes darkened with desire as he pulled her close. "I want you," he murmured, his breath hot against her ear. She nodded, leading him to the bedroom. Clothes shed slowly, revealing her lacy bra and panties, his boxers straining. He kissed her deeply, tongue exploring, hands cupping her breasts, thumbs circling nipples that hardened under his touch. She gasped, her fingers digging into his back as he lowered her to the bed. His mouth traveled south, suckling, licking, until she writhed in ecstasy. Then, he entered her, slow at first, savoring the tightness, building to thrusts that rocked the bed. Her legs wrapped around him, urging deeper, their climaxes sinking in an explosion of pleasure. Such moments punctuated their life, keeping the flame alive amid chaos. When Ethan was born, postpartum blues hit Emily hard. Daniel was her rock, massaging her feet, holding her through tears. Their sex life adapted, quick, quiet sessions in the shower, water cascading over their bodies as he pressed her against the tiles, his hands soapy and slick, sliding between her legs to bring her to quick release. Lily's high school graduation was a milestone. Proud tears flowed as she walked the stage, bound for art school, Emily's influence evident. Ethan, now a teen, pursued architecture like his dad, family projects bonding them. Ages crept in, gray hairs, wrinkles, but their passion endured. A second honeymoon in Italy rekindled youthful vigor. In a villa overlooking vineyards, they made love under the stars, his body still strong, her curves softer but no less alluring. Roleplay added fun, he the mysterious stranger, she the seductress. His tongue worked magic, her hand stroking him to hardness, positions varying from missionary to reverse cowgirl, moans blending with night sounds. Through it all, the message was clear: love conquers, heals, excites. It's not about perfection, but persistence. And as the sun sets on their story, remember, every question can lead to an answer that changes everything. Like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. To make this even longer, let's imagine the next chapter in their lives. As empty nesters, with Lily in college and Ethan interning abroad, Emily and Daniel found new freedoms. They traveled: Paris, where they strolled the Seine, stopping for kisses that turned heads; Tokyo, sampling sushi before retreating to their hotel for nights of exploration. Daniel's hands, calloused from years of drafting, knew every spot that made her quiver. She'd blindfold him, teasing with feathers, her mouth following, bringing him to the edge repeatedly before allowing release. Their sex was adventurous, incorporating toys, light bondage, always consensual and loving. Back home, they volunteered, helping single parents, drawing from their experiences. Emily's blog evolved into a book, From Cold Stops to Warm Hearts, a bestseller that inspired thousands. Grandchildren arrived: Lily's daughter, Sarah Jr., a nod to the past. Family gatherings were joyous, stories shared around the table. In quiet moments, they'd reflect. That question, Daniel would say, was the best thing that ever happened. Emily smiled. It stopped me cold, but started us hot. Their legacy? A testament to resilience, passion, and love's enduring power. If this marathon story kept you hooked for what feels like hours, you've got to like and subscribe. More epic tales await. What's your take on their journey? Comment below.